Hello everyone, how's it going? In this series, we'll be looking at the ideal starting locations for the different towns within Heroes 3. Um, my goal with this series is that if you know what the easiest possible starting point is, you know what to add or take away so that you can have a more balanced map without having a whole lot of playthroughs to make sure it's balanced. So we'll look at how the towns build up, and then we'll also take a look at some of the other miscellaneous things you should think about including within the starting area. So I'll just start off by putting down a whole bunch of grass here. We'll probably just fill up the map. Good enough. So I'll start by putting down a town or castle for player 1 right in the middle. And let's look at how to build up the castle. If you look at the cost of initially building their creature generators, the creature dwellings, only the monk and the angels require the special resources. Everything else, your level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, only require wood and ore. So just by having your default intro of an ore pit and a sawmill, and you now have a good enough starting to at least get your creature generation going. Now, in addition to those two, your angels will cost lots and lots and lots and lots of gems. So a gem pond would also be nice to have in an ideal setup. And considering how much of the resources the angels dwelling cost, the more resource generation mines you have, obviously the better. Same with every town. However, if you're going for bare bones ideal, wood and ore to get everything except for monks and angels, and then a gem pit so that once you have angels you can actually afford to buy them. For your dwellings, so you get additional creature generation, extra marksmen and extra crusaders are easily your strongest early game units. And then if you want to start getting your champions and your angels on the field, that would also be an advantage. Although it's not quite as an advantage as it is for the Crusaders and Marksmen, since they come so early, so you can really generate a numbers advantage by flagging those dwellings early in the match. Just looking through the all-terrain objects here, we come upon the stat boosting objects, and to be honest, the castle creatures themselves don't really need their stats boosted. However, attack and defense is always nice, and the castle town isn't particularly magic based, so the more attack and defense buildings you throw out there, the better suited they are to handle whatever gets thrown at them. So you want wood and ore, lots of attack and defense for melee or for might-based stat boosting. You want definitely your archers and your swordsmen, and your training grounds and your level 6 and your level 7 is just icing on the cake. I'm pretty sure every single town would love to have the level 6 and 7 dwellings just sitting right outside their castle. Let's take a look at anything else, see if there's something we might like for an ideal setting. There probably won't be anything here for what I would consider required. If you are going to do a Seers hut within their starting area, you'll want the reward to be probably gold, because the castle creatures are a little bit more expensive. Or if you're looking at maybe a primary skill boost, definitely attack or defense. Or if you're trying to do a artifact, anything that gives a boost to luck, morale, attack, and defense. Or if you really want it to be mean, you could reward with Crusaders, Marksmen, Angels, one of your more powerful units. Even Pikemen or Halberders are very good level 1 units. So as far as an ideal setup, I realized that I just kind of randomly threw these objects randomly on the screen. But these buildings, I feel, lead to a very strong castle. And if you'll notice, there's not that much here. It's very easy to have this kind of a setup. So if you're looking to very easily remove their advantage, the first thing you take away is the gem pond. They can still build most of, if not all, their buildings without one, but they can't recruit angels easily without the gem pond, and it is the easiest way to cripple a castle town. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else in here that I would consider necessary for an ideal build. So not only are the creatures powerful, but you don't even have to focus on might and magic. You can just kind of lean more towards the might side of things and let your angels take care of the magic. And resource-wise, it's very easy going. If there's wood and ore laying around on the ground, you should absolutely pick it up, and you can very quickly build up a castle town. Unless if I think of anything else, I'll just call this a video here. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.